Hey everyone, Shahzad here, and in this video I'll be talking about the new changes to the sword weapon and why I like how they work with the Hunger exotic weapon. I will also mention the build I'm using in this video, since I found it interesting to try playing the Hunger with Tragic Echo once again. As most of you know, patch 0.5.15 brought some big changes to the sword weapon by completely changing its special ability. Overdrive used to give you increased damage and attack speed, as well as firing a projectile attack towards your attack direction. You were able to activate this ability as long as you had one bar of your special meter full, and it was a nice ability considering that the sword was the beginner weapon and the most versatile one. This ability suited it perfectly. Now here comes the rework. Firstly, the new overdrive cannot be activated if you do not have a full meter, which means you either have to use it on cooldown or time your usages and combine them with other perk procs, fight stages or your teammates. To compensate for this, they did make the charging of the meter quite a lot faster, and it is affected by the energized perk. Using secondary attacks will now charge the meter considerably faster. It takes between 25 and 18 primary attacks to charge a sword, and between 17 and 12 hits to charge it with a secondary attack. If you use both, that means an average of 15 when you have your energized stat between 1 and 6. Having energized is useful to an extent, especially if you prefer using light primary attacks. Then with a plus 6 energized, you'll need 7 less hits to charge your weapon fully. There's only one reason why I don't like charging it fully for activating it rather than having 2 points. I would have enjoyed it if you can use it halfway, having a middle charge point and fully charged point. The main reason for this is to have diversity between the weapons, because at the moment the axe, sword and chain blades all have fill up meters which you fully need to fill in order to use an ability. Yes, the abilities are different, but the mechanics behind using them are identical. I'm giving proper criticism here, that's something I don't like, and I think it's better if there's a bit of diversity and difference between them. Okay, enough about the charging. What do you get when you activate it? Well, you start doing AoE damage and all of your attacks trigger a plus 6 weighted cells interrupting effect. This is a very good change for anyone who was struggling against behemoths which can be booped. Booped or booping is a Dauntless term for interrupting behemoths during their abilities and causing them to become incapacitated for a few seconds. Secondly, you gain a new dash ability which can help you evade and escape attacks. The dash is done by pressing the special ability button again while in overdrive. It will not consume your meter, but it has a cooldown. Purely damage wise, the new rework deals more damage than the old version, that is without taking into consideration attack speed buffs that can stack. It also makes the sword a lot more viable for part destroying, since the slicer damage deals basic, the slicer is the AoE damage, deals basic and part damage. It however does not deal AoE stagger or wound damage, so bear that in mind. With all this said, let's move on to how the Hunger got reworked. Here there is a small change I should mention. According to the patch notes, the Hunger only gets a bonus damage increase and lifesteal, while in-game when you equip it, you'll see that it also gives increased attack speed. I have tested and confirmed that it does in fact increase attack speed, and I think they just missed adding that in the patch notes. You no longer can die from the Hunger, you will be always left at 1 HP, and you no longer can reactivate it to force the Ether Arm to heal you. Overall, the changes are very good combat wise. The Hunger can once again be used by a lot of builds and is among the best swords for damage. That is my personal opinion. As long as you do not fight Earthstalker or Shroud, it will be a loyal and trustworthy sword. Very good perks to combine with the Hunger are Cunning, Energized and Blade Storm. Wild Frenzy, Predator and Evasive Fury also work very well, and of course does Rage too. In the current video I'm using Tragic Echo Helmet, Shroud Chest, Rage Tail Gloves and Rage Tail Leggings. The perks I have maxed out are Rage, Wild Frenzy, Rage Hunter and Energized. I think the Tragic Echo needs a bit of buffing up at the moment, since it is pretty useless in both team and solo fights. It used to be way too overpowered, then they made it way too underwhelming, so I hope that similar to the swords and the Hunger, it will get a nice update sometime soon. The changes to the special ability of the Hunger give it diversity to combine with different perks and different builds, which in turn justifies the time you might end up spending to unlock and fully upgrade it. I always loved playing with it, and I'm glad that it is back to being one of my primary weapons. This does come with a big bad taste in my mouth however, only a single one for all these changes. I definitely enjoy the new way it works, but the weapon does not feel like an exotic anymore. The ult ability of the Hunger made it feel truly exotic to play with, both in terms of looks, mechanics and difficulty. Using the new one is a lot easier than the old one, I think we can all agree on that. Yes, you can use it in many different builds now, but the old one was not less useful either. I think that you might have even had double the amount of builds, since some people went about creating a build around the passive bonuses, while the others decided to go for the active ones. That is my only concern with the changes, the fact that the exotic part of the weapon is not felt anymore. Yes, you get bonus damage, attack speed, lifesteal, as well as invulnerability during the dash. I forgot to mention that when you use dash during the Hunger Overdrive, you're completely invulnerable compared to all the other swords, but even with this ability, it does not feel exotic but feels more like rare, if you get my meaning. If you have played an RPG, it feels like the other swords are uncommon green quality and this one is rare blue rather than legendary orange. That is my only regret for these changes, and dislike everything else I love and enjoy. This was everything for this video, guys and girls. If you enjoyed it, give it a like. Be sure to check my other guides, walkthroughs and music that I make on my channel. You can also check the description for links to my Twitter, Twitch, Discord, community, Instagram and Patreon, where you can now support me with so much desire. Drop me a comment with any suggestions down below, and if you enjoy the content, then subscribe and press the bell icon in order to get notifications. Shadow Strider out!